All right. What's good? It's Antoine. As you know, I'm in Lebanon right now. And I thought I would do a little Zahle vlog. Maybe more than one, but the first one is gonna be on one of my favorite places here, um, my grandfather's house. Just gonna do the first floor because it's where the museum is. Now you might be wondering, why does your grandfather have a museum in his house? I don't know. But let me show you. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite pieces of art right here. Obviously, my grandfather has well, he's made most of these pieces of art in the museum. I'm gonna go through them. This one is a personal favorite. There's a few more over here. Zahle, some pictures. A few of the books he's written. My grandfather, he's written a bunch of these. A bunch more that I really like. I like this bottom one because he said that that's where he was born, like that's his old house. So I really like this one. Right here, I don't think I'm supposed to touch this, but this is a 350-year-old book, and this is a 450-year-old Quran. I'm just not gonna touch them anymore. And they're handwritten, obviously, so that's really cool. This is a self-portrait of his and a bunch of awards he's won. Let's go back here for a second. I really like this section. You got Saint Barbara and, of course, Mary. You have a bunch of different art styles over here of iconet, icons. And under, you have some insanely old coins. Some of them, he said, were older than Jesus. As you can see, some of these look really, really old. Very cool to me because I collect coins too. Here you have like 8 different depictions of Saint George slaying the dragon in a bunch of different art styles. I really like them. Whenever you see gold like that, it's actually gold, by the way. It's like paper gold or something. I don't know. They use for art. This one. Some more art here, especially this is like Zahle type of art. If you guys have ever seen Zahle, it's known for this statue, goddess of wine and poetry or something. This is the church we have. In here, we got some work by my aunt. This one's very powerful, and that one too. They're both from my aunt, and they're about the explosion. And this is me. This one's really, really beautiful. And if I don't say who drew it, it's because it's my grandfather that drew it, because most of these are his. But these are my great-grandfather. This one is 1969. This one is 1956. Wow. But this one is very nice. Also my great-grandfather, and these two. This one is really cool because it's older than my grandfather. 1921. Tufik Shamon, and it's of Napoleon. Insane. You got some like artifacts down here from different societies. Very cool. You got some Phoenician down there. And you got the only written language that I think that came before Phoenician, but it doesn't count as an alphabet because you can't pronounce the letters. You just, like, you understand them in writing, but there's no way to pronounce them. I don't know why I'm explaining this, but okay. This is a huge family tree and one of 20 that altogether date back to the year 679. And obviously this includes my grandfather's side of the family and 20 other families that now reside in Zahle. Just dates back to their origins. This is more modern, as you can see. Now this is more of my aunt's work, and some of these are my mom's work. Like I think this one is my mom's. This one is of my mom when she was young. This is more of my grandfather. Here you got some more artifacts. Now this is a photograph, and this is crazy because this is my grandfather's grandfather. So it's my great-great-grandfather, and his father, my great-great-great-grandfather, in Lebanon, probably Sara'in, under the Ottoman Empire. And under the Ottoman Empire, there was a lot of persecution of Christians. Whoa, what's up with it? Like, but these men were well respected, and they were allowed to, ride horses and stuff, which was very rare for people back then, especially if they were not part of the Ottoman Empire. But yeah, very cool. So, great-great-grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather. Some more photographs. This is a school trip. This is my grandfather right there. More paintings. And more back here. This one was of the explosion made by my grandfather. This one is some horses. Very cool, made by my aunt. Some more artifacts. I like this one. These swords and stuff belong to my great-grandfather. Some nice art down here. And these are my great-grandparents. A bit more artifact type of stuff over here. Some fossils. And really old tools. I think this is probably a World War II gun. I can't imagine it being from anything else. You got a rapier, old bow, just a lot of tools, some masabih, some really old eragil, a very nice painting of Ladra, and some just more artifacts. A lot of artifacts. Very old. Oh, this is cool. Okay. شو بعد في هودي كتير حلوين. هودي كمان I think my great grandparents سعيد عقل نعم طلع, just a bunch of paintings عملهم جدي. This one also up there is a personal favorite. He told me a story about this one. This one was drawn in 1940, look, by my great grandfather, so my grandfather's dad. And it belonged to a church. He gave it to a church so that, like, how in church they have a bunch of paintings hung up. This belonged in a church, but during the war, it was bombed during the war, and obviously you can see it's taken some damage, but it's been restored to the most of their ability, and stuff. But someone apparently went into the rubble of the church, and they got it, and they gave it to my grandfather. More art here. I like this one a lot. This one I think just represents justice. Got some more artifacts here, really old books, I think. Aoud. Some old khnajir. More old artifacts. And some pottery, all made by my grandfather. This one's cool because this is my mom and her siblings all drawing each other. Like, this is my mom drawing my aunt when they were really young. When do these date back to 82, I think it says. More masabih, some old farming equipment. A lot of artifacts here. Let's see. I think that's most of it for the Zahle. Oh, nice. But this house is also full of art, so I'm gonna go somewhere else. Let's see. Oh, hey, look at that. Christmas. You got a lot more here as you go along. This one, I was told by my grandfather that when he drew it, he modeled baby Jesus after me when I was a baby, which is crazy to think about. This one is by my great-grandfather. This one is also another personal favorite. 1969, very old. Some more. Okay, so I had to pause for a second, but anyway, I think we were here. This one is of probably a student or something of my grandfather's. The rest are his. This one's pretty cool. This one, just up along. This one's kind of creepy to me. Some more. Just all along the stairs to the house, there's a bunch more. This one, for example, was drawn at the beach resort we used to go to when I was little, when I was 2 years old. He used to take some equipment with him and draw it. This is the house. Another one at the beach resort. And this one is a huge one. I'm gonna turn it like this, that I really, really like. This one is probably one of my top ones, St. Michael. And there's just a bunch more that go up. Look, come to my uncle's house. There's so many paintings. There's so many, and this is like just a fraction of what he's done. There are, I think he said, 70 or 80 churches here in Lebanon that have his work hung up for them, and the one that I said he modeled Jesus after me, that one's just the recreation of the huge one. 'Cause the one that I was talking about, he drew a giant one for a church. So there's a church somewhere in Lebanon where the Jesus looks like me, which I don't think I deserve, frankly, but this one is just a small copy of the giant one he made. And yeah, there's around 70 or 80 churches, he said, that have his art hanging in them. And this was really just not, I could have shown you guys outside. He's got a bunch of this stuff going on over there. But yeah,